What's up, guys? Daniel Savage. Welcome to part 2. So a quick reminder, guys, when it comes to scalping this, you got to be very disciplined, you got to be very quick, and you got to be monitoring the 15 and the 30 minute always. Always, but your entries are on the 15 minute. So that's why we'll be showing you the 15 minute chart. Remember, our stops are 45 points, our take profits are between 50 to 100, 45 to 100. Let's fix that right there. We always want to wait for 2 to 3 confirmations. So guys, let's look over here. And we always got to study the price action. So looking at this right here, let's say we were over here. Look at that, beautiful. Remember, 2 to 3 confirmations. Big rejection to this side. We came back to retest it. 45 points. 45 to 100. Look at that. We could have rode this at least 137 points. And if we guys look, we have some market structure being broken from this side. Could have done a little mini Fibonacci, ride this thing back up. And then we have market structure being broken to the downside. Remember, guys, always look at the bigger picture, manipulate these things. Use both of these things in your favor. So we could have gotten here. It would have been kind of risky. But remember, we're looking at the 15 minute and the 30 minute. So let's highlight the zone right here really quick. Oh, sorry guys, bear with me. Let's highlight the zone really quick and let's look on the 15 minute. Look at this. This price action right here is definitely looking bearish. It looks like it's going to respect this and continue going down. So this right here on the 15 minute, it does not look good. Let's go back to the 30 minute. And on the 30 minute also, you guys can see we did penetrate under. Kind of a big rejection here. Went right back up. Went right back down. And we started respecting this downside. So we did get that evening star and it did, respect under this. Remember, they're like support and resistance. So this, to go long on this, would have been suicide. As you guys can see, we did go up. If you guys would have taken it, we would have hit that take profit one for about almost 70 plus pips. You could have rode it from the Fibonacci down here and, find your entry right here. Could have manipulated that a little bit. We did have a clean ass entry right here with take profit 3 being hit for 183 points. So this did play out really nice. But to scalp this, I wouldn't have recommended it. I didn't even take that trade. I wouldn't have recommended it because we were having signs that we were just going to keep going down. So when this thing broke above, it could have just shot up. So this did play out really, really nice. It played out beautiful. But this thing was suicide. 100%. So stay away from these. Stay away from these type of, plays that look just like this. Stay away all the time. So look at this. Let's go look at the 30 minute. I did take this trade. Let's look at the 30 minute right here. Oh, bear with me, guys. My computer is kind of laggy. Bear with me, guys. So since we were on a Fibonacci short right here to here, we did go back and retest this after we broke it. Remember, it's like support and resistance. You never want to trade one against the other. So in this case, we did have a Fibonacci short, but it did respect this. Let's say support, and let's say this is a resistance. It did respect this QP. So when it came back down and ripped right back up and basically formed a morning star above this thing, this right here should tell you, okay, I don't think we're going to continue going down. It looks like we're going to go up. So this entry right here showed you guys that this was basically a more valid one than this one, because we were respecting this QP as a form of support. We respected the fuck out of it. So when I ran my Fibonacci from this push to up here, and I used this QP in my Fibonacci buy zone to respect it, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look back on the 15-minute. What did we have? We had 2 to 3 confirmations in here. So we had the morning star on the 15-minute and the 30-minute, the retest, and boom, what did we hit? We went up to 130 something points before we got into consolidation. So look at that, guys. If we would have scalped this and traded it just like a Fibonacci, we were nowhere near our stops. And we did hit take profit 1 and 2. 1 and 2 being 45 to 100, plus our Fibonacci take profit 1, close to our take profit 2. And eventually, it ended up hitting take profit 2 right on the spot. If you guys would have waited forever, I wouldn't have waited that. I would have took my money and left. So let's look for more examples. Up here. Remember, we're looking for the market structure. We're paying attention at the market structure and the price action. So look at this. What do we have here? What we have here is basically, let's say we were here. Look at this. This is ugly. You stay away from this. It looks ugly. And we all know what this pattern is. So look at this. We could have rode this up right here. Not ride it up like as in get in the trade, but we could have rode this thing up just like I rode it up and waited for that little mini Fibonacci. So that way we broke this QP and retested it like a form of support. And guess what? Within our zone, we had more confluence of respect. Let's highlight that green. Guys, very important. Very, very important. So look at that. We did retest it. We did penetrate under. We did retest it though, but we formed a morning star. So we could have used this morning star, respecting that we still want to go up right in here in our QP zone with our Fibonacci zone. We could have traded this. It did look ugly because, you know, as you can see, we all know what this is. It did look ugly, but if you would have gotten in on here, what would happen? We would have hit at least take profit 1 for that 45. Boom. 45 near our take profit 1 on the Fibonacci for almost 75 points. Almost 75 points. Remember, stops to break even after 25 points. So this one, if you were very disciplined, you guys could have got this trade right here. Ugly. It looks ugly, but it played out. So let's look over here. Right here. We did have a push to the upside. Let's highlight this zone right here. So look at that. This is our zone. And guess what? We did come back down and we retested this, and we had 2 to 3 confirmations in here that this was going to kind of go up. But since we have that QP as a resistance above our buy zone, this right here would have been suicide. Suicide right here, 100%. This is ugly. I wouldn't have traded this. This is basically putting one against the other, and I said it, never put one against the other. This does not look clean. This is pure consolidation. because it looks like it's on a Fibonacci long, could skyrocket. But then again, what happened? We broke through and retested this just like a form of support and resistance. And that right there, you could have sold with a 45-point stop. So I wouldn't have gotten in this, guys. I would not have gotten in this. This is ugly. Stay away from this. That's not clean. That is not valid. That is not valid whatsoever. If you guys would have gotten in here, right over here on this 2-3 confirmations, give me 1 second. Oh, sorry guys, I'm a little sick. So bear with me. If you guys would have waited for those 2-3 confirmations and you guys would have got in on this morning star from our zone, guess what? We would have consolidated real nice, and guess what? Eventually, we would have been a little bit in profit after, and right there, you guys should have closed it if you did get in here. 100%. 100% you would have closed it with discipline. Keep in mind, guys, just like I said, this pair is the pair that will make you cry. This thing will have you sweating at night when you're trying to sleep because you just blew in a fucking account and you can't sleep. So when it comes to this pair, like I said, guys, it is the motherfucker of motherfuckers. You guys need to be disciplined, and you guys need to be quick, and you guys need to be willing to cut losses ASAP because you will lose money. These are not regular pairs that you can be like, oh, fuck, I just lost. You know, I just blew an account with 150 pip stop. No, this shit you will blow an account with a 300-point stop, 150-point stop. Like I said, guys, this pair, you do not want to hope trade it whatsoever. So let's look over here. Starting over here. We'll get to this in a second. So what do we have here? We have market structure being broken after this form of support and resistance was broken and retested multiple times. 1, 2, 3 confirmations. This breakthrough, this retest, and this other retest. So when that happens, we can go in on the buy. But what do we have over here? We have a continuance trend. We got more trend coming in. So right here, we could have formed a Fibonacci play. So if you guys would have sold, if you guys would have bought, you guys could have been stopped out on the retracement. So it's always better to play it safe. Always look at what can go wrong. But if you guys would have gotten in, of course, you guys can see no drawdown, straight into profit. And guess what? We did hit the next quarter point. Almost. Barely touched it. Barely touched it. But right here, we did plummet all the way down and go all the way back up. And we did retest this. So at this point, this Fibonacci right here, you would have been stopped out 100%. 100%. Because this was a news. There was some news happening here. I don't know what happened. But I do remember there was news right here. You can look back October 11th, 2019, 12:30, that there was a news release here. Something happened. Fucked everything up. I don't know. I don't remember. But look at this. We came back down. We had exhaustion right here. And we had, boom, nice little kiss. And it started coming back down. So if you were studying, if you were looking at this thing happen with the price action, you can see what we're forming right here. Could have sold right here. 45 points. To 100 points, take profit too. Clean. And since we did make a new market structure being broken to the downside, you could have got in on this Fibonacci play right here. This is how it would look on the 30-minute. And boom. You could have rode this down to take profit 1. Get back in here again. And bam. All the way down to the next QP. Like I said, guys, this right here, be very careful because this will not always play out. This strategy is very accurate if you know how to use it. You will miss a lot of setups at one time because of stuff like this, We could have formed a Fibonacci and got stopped out, even though we did have 2 to 3, confluences. You guys could have been stopped out. And that's what I don't want you guys to get in. I don't want you to get in a trade where you have no confidence. And I was not confident about this trade, so I would have not gotten into it. And that's the discipline that you guys need in this. In this pair, you need discipline. You cannot hope trade this. So let's look at this. Right here, we broke up and we broke right down with a retest to the downside. So what is this telling you guys right here? We could form a Fibonacci play. But right here, it does not look so good. Because what is this thing showing you the minute that you guys closed? That we might have a reversal. So if you guys would have sold right here into our Fibonacci zone, this is where that discipline kicks in. It's where that discipline kicks in. If you guys would have sold right here on this retest, you guys would have had another 15 minutes to consider, oh damn, I gotta close this thing, because this thing is just reversed on me. And it did penetrate right back up with literally almost no drawdown whatsoever. Not what drawdown, I'm so sorry. Like this thing didn't even draw down in profit for you. Like whatsoever. So right here, you guys could have literally cut your losses and say, no, I'm going to cut this loss. I'm going to give price, a little bit more time. So if you guys would have waited, you guys would have seen that this thing kept going up and kept going back down. So look at this. You guys could have sold right here. 45 pip stop, 45 point stop, sorry. 45 point stop. After cutting this loss, you could have cut this loss right here. Could have cut it and about a 17 point loss. You could have cut it and re-entered on here into this Fibonacci zone. Beautiful. Right here. You could have sold right there to this Fibonacci zone for 60 plus points. Remember, we're 45 to 100. And look at that. Take profit, smash, you made your money back. Beautiful. Could have rolled this thing right back the fuck up. Take profit too. Let's take that off. Boom. Remember our 65 to 85 pip stop loss. 60 to 85 pip stop loss. Take profit to fucking smash for 173 points. You motherfuckers literally would have called your boss, hey man, I just caught 173 points on US30. I'm not going to work today. You guys catch 10 of these setups with a 90% consistency rate, you guys will consider quitting your job. I can fucking guarantee you that. So let's look at more examples before we cut it to the next part. So what do we have here? This right here was perfect. This is using that confluence, guys. That confluence of the Fibonacci with our quarter point as a form of confluence. This was super fucking risky. So look at that. We had market structure being broken to the downside from this push right here. Let's highlight the zone. And look at that. Boom. Confluence. Got in on this quarter point. Oh my God, this thing is lagging. There you go. There you go. So look at that. Wait for 2-3 confirmations. Remember, if you would have sold in right here, you would have been fucked. You would have been fucked right here. Oh my God, this computer keeps fucking freezing. Yeah, I'm just going to cut this video. I'll be right back. But let me just make this quick ending right here, and then I'll explain in the next video. Remember, 2 to 3 fucking confirmations. Always discipline. Write that down a billion fucking times. If you would have got in right after this thing closed under, you would have been safe. Safe. Right here. You wouldn't have got in right here. You would have been stopped. Always wait for 2 to 3 confirmations. Always. And wait for that candle to close. I said it. I said it. I said it 1,000 times. Keep fucking putting that in your head. And guess what? We hit take profit 1 for 136 points. Look at your notes, write down your notes, read them 1,000 times before you get in the trade. This thing was beautiful. Wait for our candle to close right under after we did penetrate real hard. Try to go up again, and guess what? We closed right under this quarter point. We could have scalped it and used it as our Fibonacci, play at the same time to our take profit 2 for 136 points. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.